Do you know why Modern is my favorite Magic format? Not only do you get to play with super powerful cards like Ragavan, Expressive Iteration, Lightning Bolt, but the deck building is such a fun experience. There are new Magic decks being brewed and tried out every week by content creators such as Aspiring Spike. And there are even Magic decks like Death Shadow that didn't exist for a large period of time, even though Death Shadow was a Magic card. It was underplayed, nobody was exploring it. And then all of a sudden, somebody cracked the code, and then it became a tier 1, now maybe tier 2 deck. That's awesome. So today, we're going to do something a little special. We're going to take all the fun out of the deck building and let someone else do that for us. Not really a someone else, more like a something. We're going to let AI build us a modern deck to run through a league and see if it can crack the code for us. So this is ChatGPT, probably the most popular and well-known AI website out there. Now, what it does is you ask it a question and it searches the internet for all possible answers and it gives you what it thinks is the best answer. We're going to have to be a little careful because ChatGPT is not the smartest thing out there. I've tried to use it in the past to build decks, and sometimes it doesn't even give you 60 cards. But we also want to make sure that ChatGPT is creative. We don't want to be too restrictive on our question. So let's start by asking it something simple, and let's see what it gives us. If it gives us a full deck, then we'll just keep it and run it through. So build a modern deck. I like blue-red, so I'm going to ask it to build something blue-red. That is blue-red. That contains... Now, this is where I want to be a little careful. Let's go with Ragavan. Expressive Iteration. And Counterspell. Let's see. Interesting. Is this 60 cards? 8, 11, 15, 19, 23, 27, 30, 37, 41, 45, 49, 51, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57. That is 57 cards. Okay. Let's do a take two. Let's new chat. Let's say build a 60 card modern blue-red modern deck with a 15 card sideboard. Let's insert here that contains Ragavan and Expressive Iteration. And you know what? Let's leave out Counterspell. Let's see what happens. Wow. Wow. That's quite good. Now, it's not playing Considers. It's playing remands instead of counterspells. It's got 15 lands. But I would say that that's pretty playable. Actually. I mean, this was something. All right. Well, there's our modern deck. Tier 1. Honestly, who needs lands? 15 seems good to me. All right. So, let's actually build this. So, I present to you the final product. Now, I could have cleaned some things up, asked it to change some things around. Flame Slash and Burst Lightning are not really playable modern cards anymore. Unholy Heat is just kind of better, especially since we're playing so many instants and sorceries and with artifacts and stuff. But I kind of wanted to just run it as it is because it's about fun. It's about trying something new and seeing what happens, even if it doesn't actually give us any wins. Some sideboard choices are kind of interesting. Anger of the Gods is not really playable. It's like fine. Surgical Extraction is actually a card that I do think could make a comeback in Modern. It's not really played as much anymore because we don't really need the same targeted removal. We would rather have recurring removal like Unlicensed Hearse against Murktide, but it's fine. It's playable. It does some stuff. Overall, I give this deck like a 5 out of 10 just based off of its looks, but who knows? I mean, Delver and Ragavan and Sprite Dragon are hell of a combination. They could win games if we're able to hit 2 lands. If you enjoy this kind of content, please subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. Leave a comment in the description below of like what cards you think should be in this deck, because like I mean there's like an insane amount of cards that could be in this deck. And make sure to leave a like. It really helps the algorithm. It helps the channel grow. I've been really enjoying making Magic content for you. You guys have been giving me a lot of really good feedback. I really appreciate it. Let's go have some fun. Alrighty, so jumping in to round number 1. Our opening hand is... I mean, it's a keep. It's actually not that bad. It's actually not that bad. This Burst Lightning is essentially an Unholy Heat. Assuming that we cast it on like the first couple turns. Our opponent has kept 7. Okay. I mean, we're going to keep. We're going to see what happens. Triome. Okay. That's actually not a bad draw. So we can bauble and then shuffle it away if we don't want it. We could also additionally save the bauble for a Sprite Dragon. But I think that I would rather just use the bauble now. There's only 4 Sprite Dragons in our deck. A Manamorphose. It's like not that good. I feel like all of our cards kind of do the same thing. So I am gonna Fetch Shock. We don't play many lands, so I'm not too worried about drawing a land here. Well, we drew one anyway. I guess I'm just going to opt on the end step. Another opt. How do we like the second opt? It's fine. Again, all of our cards kind of do the same thing. It does allow us to play on our opponent's end step. I'm going to grave it. Just see what happens. Okay, Delver. There's a threat. That's kind of what we wanted. A second Delver. Well, I'm not going to not play them. I don't have any counter spells in hands. And it seems our deck is very, very tempo-based. Seems our opponent is playing like a Jeskai control deck of some sort. Ooh, okay. So more like a 4-color control deck. F6. I mean, if you got something, you got something. Interesting to note that we do have Delirium now. If this Burst Lightning wasn't in a Holy Heat, it would be way better. You're just going to bounce Delver. Okay, well, I guess Burst Lightning is now kind of the same thing. I think I'm just going to kill the Teferi, play the Delver, and then hold up a Bolt. I do really want to resolve Expressive Iteration, but it's kind of crazy that we've seen how many lands? We've seen 6 out of 15 lands. Oh, we are getting creativity potentially. Oh. Interesting. So I'm gonna bolt the Goblin token on the end step, and then we're gonna hope to draw another removal spell. There's Spell Piercing. That's fine. I'm glad there's Spell Piercing that and not my Expressive Iteration I'm about to cast. Manamorphose. Okay. We flip. It's pretty good. Am I casting Manamorphose now? I don't know when I'm going to be able to cast it in the future. Would I rather save it to dig a little deeper? Like Manamorphose, casting it now. What am I looking for? I really want multiple removal spells, so I guess I'm just going to cast the Expressive first. Interesting. So we're probably going to lose to a Resolved Archon. I think that I'm gonna... So they're going to enter combat, they're going to attack, they're going to make a token, and then I'm not going to be able to do anything about it. So maybe it's best for me to like take the Serum Visions or cast the Serum Visions and then potentially finds... I'm only going to be able to cast one removal spell at most. I could look for a Spell Pierce. If that's the case, then I'm only going to be able to cast one spell anyway. So I guess it's the Serum Visions. Which card would I rather have? I guess I want the Expressive Iteration, and then I'm going to cast the Serum Visions off of an island. I guess we don't really want any of these. These don't really deal with an Archon, and then I'm just going to bobble them. Wooded Foothills, okay. I can choose to not attack, but I'm probably attacking. We are a tempo deck. We are kind of an aggressive deck. I don't want to block the Shaman. So I feel like if we were on the play, this would have been a little better. But I don't know how much better. It's very arguable. Ooh, I thought that was a Spell Pierce at first. Because it was a single blue. I guess just don't have it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah. Uh, yeah, that's probably GG's. Do we have any outs for this? I guess I'm gonna expressive and see what happens, but we're probably dead. Okay, I am dead. All right, all right. This might be a difficult matchup. However, surgical extraction actually quite good. And let me look at the wording on Indomitable Creativity, because I'm pretty sure Ashiok does not work with it. Its controller reveals cards from the top of their deck. Hmm. Hmm. I'm down to bring in like more removal. Remand is so bad. It's so bad. We could name the Dwarven Mine. Is that good? It doesn't allow them to do it on like an empty board, but like we don't have a lot of options. That's the issue. We kind of have to go faster than them. Maybe I'm supposed to bring in Dispel? Okay, let's board out Serum Visions. They're really, really slow. That gives us 3 slots. Let's bring in the Dispels. Is it worth it to Alpine renaming Dwarven Mine? Is that really what we have to do? I guess that's not the worst. And then Flame Slash is just way too slow. So I guess I would rather just the Alpine Moon. I wish that the Ashiok almost didn't even exile the graveyard when you minused so that I could surgical away one of the things. I could bring in Mystical Disputes too as a 3-mana counterspell. I guess it's better than some other choices. I don't really know what. I think I'm just going to click submit and we're just going to cross our fingers. Okay, I mean, turn 1 Ragavan. I'm not. That's not the worst. And we do get to bauble too, because I can bauble here. If I like the card, then I just play the mountain. It is a mountain, and I definitely do not want that, so I can fetch that away. I mean, Ragavan, if this lives, which it probably won't, but if it does, I guess Island is better than Mountain, but that's arguable. Oh. Well, I'm not gonna not play it, right? Like, I guess I could hit something. I could hit Fable. I guess the 1 damage matters less. I would rather open myself up to the possibility of hitting a Fable of the Mirror Breaker or like a Teferi, Veil of Summer. Not the same, I would say. I think now I'm just gonna play. I'll play my Sprite Dragon. Mystical Dispute? No, that would be too good for me. I would be able to veil it. I mean, I don't think that we're in the worst position. Pass. Okay. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell. So I guess I'm going to Expressive first. Get a counter on my guy. I can't do anything about this. So it just happens. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to take the Dispel and then put the Sprite Dragon into exile. And then cast it off of my... Again, I would rather open myself up to the possibility of being able to play a Fable, so I'm just going to attack first. We hit an Arid Mesa. That is not a Fable. So I'm just going to cast it. I mean, should I play the Delver of Secrets? Interesting choice. They're probably going to play a Fable. I would assume. They can play Teferi. I probably am not going to need the Dispel right now. So, yeah, screw it. Let's do it. We are the aggressor. We are the aggro deck. F6. Let's go! Would we have flipped? We wouldn't have. Okay. Game 3. Game 3. Leyline Binding. Pretty damn difficult to beat. Narset does hit Fable. It does hit the Archon, technically. It's not that good. So slow. It's so slow. It stops Teferi. It's 3 mana sorcery speed. I'm just gonna click submit. We're just gonna do I want Mystical Dispute for Teferi? Do I want Dispel? Which spell? Dispel. Is Abrade better? It's arguable. Let's bring in Abrade. I guess we can board out like Manamorphoses. They're kind of more all in, and I guess I would rather have like the removal. Where does that leave me on like Mystical Dispute? I'll bring in 1. All right, here we go. Just give me a fast opening hand. No blue mana. Better, definitely better. How much better? Like, am I throwing Alpine Moon? So I want to keep Delver because I'm playing that on turn 1. I want to keep the Sprite Dragon because I have double Bauble. And I want to keep the Spell Pierce because it's my only permission spell. So it's gotta be the Alpine Moon, I guess. All right, good luck, opponent. Good luck. Our opponent has also mulliganed. No, they have not. My bad. Land, go. Okay, well. Am I playing a Bauble? I really, really want to hit a second land. Is it bad if I play 1 Bauble? No, I'll play 1. I'll play 1. They're going to fetch for sure. So I'm just going to pass and then wait for them to... Yep, that's fine. And I will look at what you're going to draw. You're going to draw a Teferi. Okay. Well, I'm gonna hold the second bauble. Let's get lucky. A shock. Oh, that's so brutal. That is so brutal. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess I am bobbling here, and I'm going to let the Renin 6 live for a turn, and then Spell Pierce the Teferi. I'm just gonna. Oh, do I want to play both? Yeah, I guess so. I guess we needed to hit a second land like really badly. What are you drawing? You're drawing another Renin 6. So yeah, okay. All right, fine. Or maybe I need to hold the Spell Pierce. Yep. I could have bolted the Ren, but oh, they're just passing. Interesting. What is your next card that I'm not going to see anyway? Now I'm going to bolt the Ren at 6. All right, land, please. Am I going for an opt here? Yeah. Give me a land. Ooh. All right. The game continues. Go. Yep. They are playing around Spell Pierce like they just know it's in my hand. Not that I could have done anything about it, but you know. Okay, well, I'm going to cast Expressive here and then pray we hit another land. I think we're dead. Hand, bottom, exile, go. I guess we're not dead per se. We can abrade Lightning Bolt a resolved Archon, but we're very dead. Sure. Sure. Oh, opponent. Maybe they just don't have it. I don't even know what to do even if they don't have it. What do I do? There's just so much value. There's Renin 6 into Fairy. I play the Ragavan, I dash it, they fetch, they get another Dwarf, and they block. I can double Lightning Bolt a Planeswalker, I guess. It's not exactly winning. Let's get the Teferi off the board, I guess. Oh my goodness, are we getting Spell Pierced? GG's opponent. Alrighty. Round number 2, we're on the play. This deck needs it. Very keepable. Very, very keepable opening hand. We're just going to play a Ragavan, and we're just going to cross our fingers. Go. Interesting. Okay. That we can deal with. Urza Saga turn 1 is always very scary. Well, well, well. Show me your secrets. Whoa. I think they're playing Lantern Control. They also have no way of making colored mana outside of like this. So we're going to be able to answer one of their answers. Would I rather I think I'm going to take a Prismatic Ending because we can counter the second one. And if they want to Inquisition me, that's fine. I still get in with Ragavan again. Yeah, I'm going to take a Prismatic Ending and then play the land and say go and then hold up the... Yeah, they're definitely playing Lantern Control. I love Lantern Control. It's one of my favorite modern decks. Oh, that was a good draw. That turns on their Glimmer Void. I can't do anything about it, so it's just gonna happen. And I assume that they're going to attempt a Prismatic Ending, yeah, which is why I have the Spell Pierce. Maybe we can hit a Codex Shredder, and then we can start to play Lantern. That would be awesome. Ancient Stirrings. Not the best. Not the best. I think I'm just gonna Expressive. Wow, we would have hit off of the that's so funny. Do I want to double bubble? What are the odds that they get something that answers Ragavan? Probably slim, but I guess I think I'm just gonna take the draw too. Yep. I'm just gonna take the draw too. What are you drawing? You're gonna draw a Spire of Industry. And do I want to pass? Like, is there a chance that I'm gonna want to Lightning Bolt something? Maybe. I'd say maybe. I think I'm just gonna pass. I'm gonna save the Mishra's Bauble for a Sprite Dragon if we get one. Or like a fetch lands, even though we only play 4. Alright, they're gonna tap for mana and search for a Lantern, I would assume. Yep. Okay, we knew about that one. This is gone. They can definitely look at my hand. I do not care about that. This and this. So their hand is a Glimmer Void and a Spire of Industry. They conceded. Hilarious. Okay, so we are going to bring in all of our artifact hate. Ashiok does stop Urza Saga, so I am going to bring it in. It also kind of messes with their Lantern plan where they try to control the top of my deck and I can mill myself as well as them. It's kind of weird though because like I can only mill at sorcery speed, so it's not as good. But also like they're trying to like recur things with like Academy Ruins, so I might as well bring it in. Narset is pretty good too. They definitely won't expect it. I don't think they draw cards. Lantern doesn't really draw cards. They mostly tutor. And Surgical is okay. I wonder if the Alpine Moon is just worth it to bring in just to hit Urza Saga, because they're going to play an Urza Saga on turn 1 if they can. I think Remand is pretty bad. It's really slow. It doesn't necessarily answer anything that we care about. All they do is play 1-mana spells. Flame Slash hits nothing. They play 0 creatures. They might play Spellskite in the board, but I don't want to bring it in. I don't want to do that unless I know for a fact that that's what they're doing. And then I'm kind of okay with like boarding out like a Manamorphose. It's kind of more all in. Do I want the Narset? It does draw me multiple cards. They have to Pithing Needle it. It does kind of mess up their Lantern plan a little bit. Not a lot. Let's go with this. Do I want a Surgical? I can like Surgical. If I can like destroy one of their things, actually maybe. Yeah, let's do that. Let's board out a Manamorphose. Let's try the Surgical out. Interesting. So there's the Surgical. Because like if I can get them to like crack a Lantern and then I Surgical the Lantern, their game plan is over. Okay. So a Braid is essentially going to be dead. They're just going to take Ragavan here, I would assume. Sure. Okay. I'm pretty okay with going like fetch shock Serum Visions. See what we get. Bottom the lands. Probably bottom this too. It's like fine. And then we have a bauble for the Sprite Dragon. Sure. Okay. So their hand had a lot of Thoughtseizes in it. They're just gonna take the they're just gonna take the threat. Makes sense. Relic, that's fine. We don't use our graveyard. Little do they know. The only annoying part is having to like manually click on a card every time. Alpine Moon. I think that I'm going to wait on that one. I know that they play like a bunch of Surgicals and stuff, or a bunch of like Thoughtseizes and stuff, but I mean they'd have to Thoughtseize me again. Okay, let's bauble them first. Let's see what they're gonna draw. What are you drawing? You're drawing an Inquisition. Okay. Let's opt. Do we get a creature? We do not. We can put that into the... I guess it does draw a card. It's like not the worst. And they can't take it out of our hand. And then I'm going to... I'm just going to Alpine Moon and I'm going to name Urza Saga. I would rather not them take it out of my hand. Now is a question of like, do I want a Surgical Extraction, like the Thoughtseize away? I guess we could have waited on the bauble. Ooh. Okay, well, if they Inquisition me, they're just going to take Ashiok. I'm almost positive about that. That's fine. Yep. Sure. Revealing A. Haywire Mites. That's actually pretty annoying. That does get rid of Alpine Moon. I'm guessing that the last card of their hand is probably an Urza Saga. Okay, I'm gonna opt. See what we get. Another Alpine Moon. I wonder. Okay, I'm gonna keep it on top in case like the last card in their hand is actually an Urza Saga, and then we're just gonna see if we can blow them out. Because they're probably gonna play Haywire Might. Oh, they got a Lantern. Okay. Okay, sure. And then I'm gonna draw a card because there's no reason to just like sit here. Alrighty. Here's our game plan. Play this. Do I want to burst lightning them? The Haywire Might. I guess like I'm not gonna be able to dupe them if I don't let the Haywire Might destroy the Alpine Moon. And they can just sack Welding Jar. But I don't think that they would sack Welding Jar. Do I want to Burst Lightning them? Maybe. Am I going to Surgical myself? I'm just going to attack. I'm just going to attack. I'm just going to attack. They're probably going to draw a card with Relic because they're kind of stuck right now. But the last card in their hand also could be Ensnaring Bridge. I think that there's a very likely chance that that's also realistic. Like they might, I think they're just gonna go land Ensnaring Bridge. They are passing. Wow, we're seeing a lot of lands in our 15 land deck. So I'm just going to hold the Burst Lightning until we might be able to kicker it. I guess Burst Lightning would have dealt an additional 2 damage here. Oh, the last card is Urza Saga. Awesome. Awesome. Exile all graveyards. You got it. So they are going to be able to establish the combo here, which is kind of a shame. Oh. What? Yeah, okay. Sure. So I can either continuously build up a bunch of fetches. I think that I want to crack now. It's really weird. Like they're starting to assemble the combo. They're probably gonna mill me here, I would assume. Yeah, okay. All right, so now I'm going to attempt to destroy the Lantern. They're going to regenerate. Yep, makes sense. Okay, and now is my opportunity. Do I want a Surgical Extraction to shuffle their deck? This is going to be one of the only opportunities. They're going to be able to look at the top 5. It's close. It's really, really close. I'm going to go for it, though. Let's just do it. I mean, I'm going to need another Abrade for this to be any good at all. I want to look at their hands. Their hand is a Boseiju. So 1. And then we get to take a nice little screenshot of their deck, too. It's pretty nice. They did bring in Spellskites. They have Fatal Push. It's pretty good. 1 Cookbook. Okay. And the 4 Ensnaring Bridge in the main. And there is an Urza's Saga. Well, I'm just going to Burst Lightning them now. I guess I should have done it earlier. And we might get a little punished for it. They would have been at 8 life and then a 2-turn clock rather than a 3-turn clock. I guess a 2-turn clock was going to happen no matter what with this Alpine Moon. I wonder if they're going to mill me. You're going to mill me? On top, on top. I mean, I want both of these burn spells. Name Urza Saga. Goodbye. I'm just gonna enter combat and attack. They are targeting themselves. That makes sense. There is an ensnaring bridge. Okay. So I'm going to make it really awkward for them because they get to cast this ensnaring bridge, but I get to potentially draw 2 cards. And if I draw this burst lightning and if I draw a land, they're going to mill me. So they have to crack a lantern now because they can't let me draw a lightning bolt. All right, we draw on a braid, we win. And we're going to draw 2 cards. Lightning Bolt also does it. Ragavan. Delver. I guess I'm going to play the Delver. The Ragavan, I don't necessarily have to play. Now we just got to... They're going to draw a Codex Shredder. We know that for a fact. But we're pretty set up. We just need to draw something. There's an Abrade. I would love. Oh, I shouldn't have revealed. Oh, they let me draw it. Oh, they messed up. I messed up. They messed up bigger. Oopsies. I messed up huge. They messed up huger. Our first match win against Lantern Control. Wow. Wow. GG's opponent. I don't think that Lantern is particularly good right now, but I do think that there is a Lantern deck that might be good. I recorded a video a while ago that I never uploaded that, maybe we'll explore Lantern. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to play Lantern Control, if that's something that you'd be interested in seeing, because I am a really big fan of that deck. Alrighty, round number 3. We are on the play. And our opening hand is a work of GBT art. Definitely playing the Ragavan on turn 1. There's no doubt. All right, opponent. Let's see what you got. What are you playing over there? Uh-oh. Okay. The Mirror, probably. So, Delver is kind of awkward. Oh, never mind. Never mind. We're just going to play both our threats, and we're just going to F6. Which is now 6. I don't know why they ever changed that. That never really made any sense to me, but maybe if one of you guys know why MTGO changed the F commands to just the number commands. Definitely Delver. Or, definitely Delver. Definitely Murktide. Who did they target? They targeted themselves. All right, Delver. What you got? Spire Bluff Canal. Boo. Boo. All right. Well, we're gonna play our creatures. Can't spell pierce that one, my friend. You can spell snare though. This one you can spell pierce if you wish. Bottom, top. Combat. I'm going to hold this back in case they dash a Ragavan. I got a stinking little suspicion that we could get dashed Ragavan, and I'd rather just, like, not get Burst Lightning stolen off of my deck. Sure. Interesting that they play their land first. I guess that they want to make sure that they could hit a removal spell. Always a reason why to play the basic as your second land versus playing both your Spire Bluff and your Steam Vents and stuff, because you want to make sure that if you expressive and you don't hit a land, that you can play your untapped blue-red land. I will reveal the Burst Lightning that is on top of my deck. I will draw it, and then we got some decisions to make. I think it's just expressive. Like, I don't really think I got to think that hard, because they're tapped out. Do I want another Sprite Dragon, or would I rather a Remand? Unsure how good Remand is in this matchup. Like, if they just jam a Murktide, that's pretty scary. Kind of interesting. I guess I want the Sprite Dragon then. Yeah, because like I feel like we can go a little wider. Play this. We're going to play the Burst Lightning on this for sure. Is there a difference between me attacking for 7 and me attacking for 8? I guess I would rather hold the opt for the second Sprite Dragon, so we'll just attack and we'll say go. Because we play the opt no matter what, it's going to be 8 damage. Consider. Better than opt. They drew it. I'm assuming it's a Murktide, but yeah, that's got to be a Murktide. That feels like one. I wonder if we like could have held up a Remand, but I don't think so. How big is it going to be out of curiosity? It's a 7/7. Okay. And they don't have Delirium anymore. That's kind of important. Ooh. Ooh. Interesting. We might be able to get our thing bigger than the Murktide. If we get a Manamorphose in there somewhere, it's kind of like, do I want to play the Sprite Dragon and like attempt to go a little wider right now? Yeah, I guess I do. I guess I do. Let's play the Serum Visions, Sorcery Speed. We draw a Remand. Bottom the land, top the expressive iteration. Do I want to attack? What a weird situation that we're in. I attack, they block the 5 power one. They take 5, they go to 2. And then realistically, they're going to need more blockers. but we might be able to get our things bigger next turn, so big that they can't actually remove our creatures. So I'm just going to pass. This is pretty conservative. I'm unsure if I'm supposed to get aggressive here. We don't get to play lava darts and stuff like Blitz does. Sure. I am just going to jam this expressive. I mean, I'm not going to hold back. Triggers. You going to spell pierce it? You're going to counterspell it. I'm going to remand. I'll give you your trigger. Just don't draw an Unholy Heat. They discard an instant or a sorcery, and they draw an Unholy Heat, and we lose our Sprite Dragon. That'd be pretty big. Land, that's good. All right. Remand draws us a card. And then expressive. Oh my goodness. Hand, bottom, exile. Play it. Enter combat. I'm swinging with the team. I mean, this is the time. Yep. I guess I should have played Delver there. I kind of like F2'd through my turn. But playing Opt on the end step is also fine. I mean, it's kind of similar if we draw like a lightning bolt, like kind of similar. They should just pass. They're looking for like a Brazen Borrower, a way to get rid of my Sprite Dragon. I can't stop them if they have it, so I could rep Spell Pierce, I guess, but like that doesn't even do it. Another Manamorphose. It's like not the worst. It's not the best. It gets our thing bigger, but I'm just gonna bottom it. Okay, that's a good draw. Or it's like a fine draw. They have a counterspell in hand, so how good is it, you know? All right, let's play the bauble. And then enter combat, and let's attack. Let's hope that they don't have a Brazen Borrower. All right. So yeah, I mean, yeah, they already have Delirium, so I'm just gonna let this happen. Instant creature land artifact. 6 damage. So I'm 2 for 1ing here. Sure. Deal. And then I get to look at what they're going to draw because they can't crack their fetch land anymore. Otawara. Okay. And then I'm just going to play Delver. And then if they want to counterspell this, that's fine. I'm going to Spell Pierce it because they can't pay. I guess if their last card in their hand is a counterspell, like we could technically just Manamorphose into like a Lightning Bolt effects. Yeah, screw it. Let's do it. What's the worst that could happen? Red, red. A little punished? It's a little punished. Okay, go. I mean, I'm pretty sure they just lose. Okay. Next game. So against Murktide, definitely both Mystical Disputes. That's gotta happen. We don't have a choice there. Ashiok is actually like not that bad. It exiles their graveyard. It turns off their fetch lands. Flame Slash is okay too. It's 1 mana. It removes like the Ledger Shredder. It removes Ragavan. In combination with like a bolt, it can like remove a Murktide. Surgical is not so good. Narset is not bad. Narset turns off. It does die to all the removal, but it is a 2-for-1, and 2-for-1ing does matter a lot in this matchup. And Dispel is actually okay too. I think Remand is just the worst. We got really lucky with Remand. And I think that the Manamorphoses are a bit all in. I don't think that we like want all of them. I'd rather the Dispels, and then I guess I would rather an Abrade. It answers some stuff. It can answer a Unlicensed Hearse, which doesn't really matter in this matchup, but can get very big. It can get very, very big. Okay, I'm down with this. I don't really think we need more Abrades. Yeah, I mean, it's got castable magic cards. I'm not going to mull it. I mean, 15 lands is a little scary, but like with this deck, I'm just going to keep a lot of the hands that maybe I wouldn't in a Murktide deck. Okay, so I'm going to choose to not play Ragavan here. They're playing a lot of Lightning Bolts. They went land go. We have our own Lightning Bolt effects, and I really want to hit a second land. So all right, deck, don't fail me now. Bottom? Uh-oh. Let's go, deck. Let's go. All right. Now I'm going to play Ragavan. If they want to kill it, that's fine. I need to run them out of removal spells eventually anyway. Oh, they're going to counterspell it. Yeah, screw it. I'm not going to let them get the tempo. I'm going to make them act on their turn. Like, they probably expressive iteration here, but like, expressive iteration doesn't always work out. If they don't have a third land and they whiff on the third land, or, you know, they don't have the removal spell and they whiff on the removal spell. Sure. Mishra's Bauble. They targeted me. And they passed. See? We're out tempoing the tempo deck. Wow. I'm just gonna hit them. Let's see what we get. There's too many good cards for me to like want to cast my things first. Could be anything. Could be so many good cards. Bauble. I mean that is a free draw. And you know what? I am going to play my Sprite Dragon here. We have a Dispel to hold up. We can look at the top card of their deck. What are you going to draw? You're going to draw a Mishra's Bauble. That's not very good for you. and very good for me. So many, like we're pretty set up for like any sort of thing that they really want to do. Yeah, like this doesn't matter. They are going to get a counter on it, but we have a Flame Slash. The only thing we have to hope is they don't hit a land. That would be worse for us. What if I like discard like a Murktide or something? Maybe like a counter spell. Brazen Borrower. Wow. That's kind of interesting because I actually think Brazen Borrower might be like I'd be holding that. They're targeting us. Passing again. Please. Fury. Oh my goodness. That is really good. I don't have that angle covered. Boy, that's really good. Yep. We did get a 2-for-1 out of them, and we are going to be able to kill this Ledger Shredder, but that was very good. A land would be a fine draw. That's also a fine draw here. Okay, so we're going to Flame Slash this Ledger Shredder. That's happening. And then I'm going to Serum Visions because I don't think that we might not hit the land. Oh, we would have. Okay. That's fine. There's no way we could have known. That's so interesting. Do I want to draw this Ashiok? What are the odds that they play? I want this land, but I kind of don't. I want this Ashiok, but I kind of don't. I'm going to keep the land. And then I'm going to say go. We have all angles covered except for Murktide, which requires us to 2-for-1 ourselves. Sure. They just drew it. They did not scry. Land, shock, go. Okay. I'm just going to play the Delver, and then we're just going to pass. I will Dispel if they counterspell this. Resolves. If they go to kill it, I will probably Dispel it as well. Okay. Spirebluff Canal. That's pretty unlucky. Alright, I'm going to attempt a Flame Slash. Let's do this first. Is your creature dead? I will pay. And this is why Minor Misstep is a fantastic card. Because it would have been if it was a Minor Misstep, I couldn't have done anything. I would have had to use a counterspell on it. They did tap me low on mana. Not that that matters really, but Seasoned Pyromancer, another card that is kind of like a new evolution in Murktide. I think this card's okay. I don't think it's great. They discarded Flusterstorm and Counterspell. All right, Delver, I need you to flip. Flip! Here's your chance. Lightning Bolt, yes! Let's go! I'm just gonna jam the expressive here. They need to have a 1-mana counterspell of some sort. Could be like a Mystical Dispute. It could be Spell Snare. I'm gonna Spell Pierce. I think that the Dispel is a little bit stronger. I think it's a little bit stronger. Another Delver and another Lightning Bolts. Hand, bottom, exile, play a Delver. All right, we have 8 points of burn, which can technically be 10. Technically. Go. All right, I'm going to be taking all the damage. All right, Delver, one more time. That's right. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Oh, opponent. I am so sorry. Pass. Definitely, like, I don't have to do anything here. They have to answer the board or they lose. I will dispel this. Two and one. ChatGPT defeating the best deck in Modern. Wow. Wow. The clean sweeps. All right, round number 4. Alrighty, round number 4. On the play with Ragavan. Let's go. I've never been so excited to play like a. I mean, maybe this deck is good. I don't know. Do I want to play the Bauble first? Nah, I guess we don't need it. We're gonna play the Ragavan no matter what. Seems like a lightning bolt to me. Yep. All right. Am I dashing Ragavan? Am I just playing? I think I'm just going to play this Sprite Dragon, to be honest. Like, the Bauble is kind of just sitting in my hand. I saved it for Sprite Dragon. Let's, like, get it down. See what's going on their side of the fields. Another Misty. Yeah, like I know Sprite Dragon can, like, you know, get out of control, but we don't have a lot of lands, a bunch of 2-drops in hands. It's an aggressive creature. Okay. Well, they have another bolt effect. That kind of stinks. All right, they're going to allow me to do the first expressive. But it's super dangerous, because if I don't hit a... I'm going to Manamorphose first, just in case. And I'm going to make red-blue. All right, expressive. Uh-oh. We could not answer the Ragavan. They kind of out-tempoed us. And bottom, exile. Oh, exile. Say go. All right, Ragavan, I need you to whiff once, please. I know that my deck has 15 lands. What's a good whiff? Remand. Spire Bluff. Kind of hurts. Yep. All right. Is Ragavan dead? It is. I don't want to give you another counter. I really don't want to give you another counter. I don't have good ways to answer this. I'm just going to pass and then hope we draw a lightning bolt. or Flame Slash. I'm gonna make them like forcibly cast 2 spells. That's a good first spell. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, it's still 1-3. That's good for us. And they're keeping it on top. That's not good for us. I guess I'm gonna Serum Visions. Crap. I want these, but this Ledger Shredder is very, very scary. I'm just gonna bottle them both. I'm just gonna pass. I mean, Ledger Shredder is not much of a threat. Ledger Shredder is not that scary yet. Sure. Put it on top. Your cards. Your cards are so good. Second Ledger Shredder. Second Expressive Iteration. That's not good. Discarding Lightning Bolt. Discarding Spell Pierce. Okay. Well, we're going to need a Flame Slash. Like yesterday. All right. Flame Slash. Go. Yeah, Ledger is hard to beat. Hard to beat. Oh. I mean, I do kind of want to see what's in their deck, but like, you got it. You win. You got it. Alrighty, all right. Ashiok, Narset, this. No surgical, I don't think. Manamorphoses are out. They're just too slow. Remands are really bad. I'll bring in another Abrade because it does hit Ledger Shredder. Bring in the third Abrade. Let's ship it. I'm fine with this. I think that we just need like a good aggressive draw. We just need like a Delver in our opening hand, a Ragavan in our opening hand, kind of like before. I did kind of figure that we would end up losing to missing land drops. 15 lands is pretty low. 15 lands is pretty low. Let's see how many that they play in Izzet Prowess. So it seems like Prowess plays 17 lands on average. But they don't play Ragavan. So we are kind of doing something a little different than them. God, I wish Mutagenic Growth is in this deck. Or even like the Lava Dart would be fine. Alrighty. I would love to play first. Oh, no. I'm not mulling the 5, but this hand is incredibly slow and does nothing. Okay, so I don't want to go to 5. I think that we gotta bottom the mountain. And then we're just gonna turn 1 Serum Visions. A Bauble is kind of the same thing as... I guess we get to look at a card with the Bauble, but I would rather like just have the card. So I'm just gonna bottom both and then say go. If we can get this Ashiok to resolve, I think that we're in a pretty good position. Not great. I mean, it's not like a game-winning card, but it does something against them. Yep. Makes sense. We got a Lightning Bolt for that one, luckily. I wonder if I should have waited. I wonder if I was supposed to like Lightning Bolt on their turn to make them Spell Pierce so that we could Spell Pierce. You know, like so we could like kind of like keep the tempo. Land. Well, I asked for it. I did ask for it, so we're going to play it. Do I actually want to mill? No, not really. Because they attack it, then they Lightning Bolt it, and then it dies. And then we just pretty much have it for nothing. I'd rather just like have it as like a way to prevent them from fetching. It's basically like a giant fog on a stick. And they can't crack fetch lands either, which is really important. Do I want to dash Ragavan or do I want to cast Expressive Iteration? I think let's get an let's get an Expressive Iteration going. We're going to Spell Pierce whatever they do anyway. Flusterstorm. That's pretty good. They kept it on top. Interesting. I cannot pay. Okay, you got me. That was pretty good. They kept it on top. So, you know what that means. That means it is time. Spirebluff Canal. Now do I want to mill them? Not really. Basic Island. It's pretty good for them, actually. It's kind of hoping that they wouldn't hit a lands, but I guess there was no way for me to stop it. Wonder if they're going to Lightning Bolt Ashiok here. Sure. All right, now we need a Lightning Bolt. Wow. Ask and you shall receive. Underworld Breach. That's a good one. I am definitely casting that right now and then casting a Lightning Bolt. One, two, three. Done. And then now I'm going to mill them because it dies to a Lightning Bolt anyway. I guess it now dies to an Unholy Heat, which it would not have died to, but and a dashed Ragavan. But I guess if they want to dash Ragavan to hit Ashiok, then like that's their whole turn. Okay, I can't do anything about that one. Kind of interesting that we haven't seen a single. Oh, they hit a Spire Bluff. That's pretty good. We are going to be able to stop them from like bolting the Ragavan or something. Seems like they don't have anything anyway. Maybe like a Spell Pierce. A Misty. That's not good. We kind of wanted that. We kind of wanted them to have that. Do I want to play my own Expressive? Just like slam it into a Spell Pierce? Yeah, I mean, like I'm kind of I can pass. I could pass. Let's mill them. And then say go. I really want this Expressive Iteration to resolve, and I don't want to just jam it into like another Spell Pierce or something. Yep. Okay. I'm going to play it now. If they're going to counterspell. Aether Gusts. That seems not great. I'm just going to put it on top. I will bubble you. You're going to draw an Expressive. Is it time to get my value? Like, is it time to like cash in this Ashiok to get rid of another Expressive? I really don't want them to draw an Expressive. I think so. I think it's time. I don't think that shutting off their fetch lands is really going to matter very much anymore. Let's pass. Ooh, okay. So this is an interesting situation. I can tap them out of mana. I can tap them out of mana. I think that that's the best that this Spell Pierce is going to get. Resolves. And my graveyard doesn't matter anyway. They don't know that though. So Expressive. Interesting. Hand bottom exile. So we can kind of like do everything. Let's see what they're gonna draw. They're gonna draw a Spell Pierce, okay? I could opt and try to hit a bolt, but like there's no point because then I can't even dash the Ragavan. They know I have Ragavan in hand. I can play the Ragavan and then they just like bolt it, but then I dispel it and then they Spell Pierce me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Maybe I'm supposed to hold up Dispel? Like, what am I opting for? Like, what am I doing this for? To hit like a Delver, maybe? Maybe another Ragavan? Yeah, okay. Let's cast it and see what happens. Serum Visions. It's fine. It's kind of the same thing as everything else, but at least I get to scry. Bottom for sure. I can't answer anything that they just cast this turn anyway. But they do have a Spell Pierce in hands. Let's put it on top. We need this Ragavan to connect at one point. So they're probably just gonna untap. They might like Expressive here. And we do have a Bauble trigger, so we can attempt to counter like an Expressive iteration, but they are drawing Spell Pierce, so they just passed. Okay. Fair. I'm going to attempt to kill it. Is it dead? Is it dead? It's a big question. It's a very big question right now. I will dash monkey. Go to combat. I will attempt to dispel. I will attempt a mystical dispute. All right, Ragavan. Whoa. You brought in Dress Down against me. Wow, that's interesting. Wow. A Murktide here. Okay, Expressive? A kill spell? Okay, I mean, that's not terrible. Come on. Okay, that's a kill spell. Let's kill it. You had another kill spell. All right, we're in like a top deck war, but they got no licensors going. Oh, that was an insane draw. You've seen 3 Underworld Breaches? You probably are only playing 3. That was a pretty good top deck. You only get to play 2 cards, though. So, I guess not as good, but still very good. I would just dash this Ragavan, right? Or you're just going to cast it. That's fine, too. Expressive, off the top. Expressive, off the top. Please? How many lands am I playing? 5? 6? I think this signals the end. Pretty sure. My own Ragavan. Eh. Okay. Expressive. Expressive. I'm just gonna play it so that I can block theirs. I guess I should play the lands to like give me the most opportunities to do stuff if we like draw Expressive, a lot of mana. Oh. All right. I am not entirely sure what our out is. Expressive. Expressive. Okay, we need to hit Expressive Iteration into Lightning Bolt, Expressive Iteration into Lightning Bolt, Lightning Bolt. Do we have that many Lightning Bolts in our deck? We do not. Oh my gosh. GG's opponent. GG's. We are dead on board. And we're close. All right. Last match for the even money Alrighty, last round. Can we even money? Not with this hand. Maybe with this hand. Let's put back a Manamorphose. It's kind of expensive. It's kind of the same thing as the Bauble. Our opponent has mulliganed to 4. Not good for them. Good for us. Good for the ChatGPT deck. Wonder what their turn 1's gonna look like. Oh. I see. I see. The race is on. Honestly, this is kind of like the perfect last deck to end with. Very linear. I love playing against Tron. You lose against Tron, they didn't do anything that you didn't know about. They played their lands, they played the thing. It seems like they're going to Ancient Stirrings here. Whiff. Let's go. Turn 1, Ragavan. Too good. And now we know they're playing green. So we're going to bring in Alpine Moons for sure. We're going to bring in Abrades. We're going to... We can bring in Surgical. It's not that good against them. We don't have a way of like milling them. If we had like a Thought Scour and we could mill them, it'd be pretty good. Remand, actually good. Remand's actually good in this matchup. Flame Slash, not good. Spell Pierce is okay. It's like not great. It gets really bad later. Maybe it's like the Burst Lightnings don't really do anything either, but they do go face, which is kind of important. Yeah, I guess I would board out the Burst Lightnings. And then the Serum Visions are kind of slow. Spell Pierce is really slow, but like, I guess that we can't, it doesn't counter the Karn if they get to Tron. We just don't have like a lot of answers. That's just kind of the problem. So I'll board out these. Because I want to keep the Manamorphoses and the Baubles for speed. For like the Sprite Dragons. I just think we click go. I mean, it has a turn 1 Ragavan. I'm definitely not going to mull it. Our opponent has mulliganed. They are down to 5. They are down to 4. I think our opponent is tilted. I've never seen somebody aggressively mulligan this bad. Wow, I really hope we draw Alpine Moon. That'd be pretty incredible. All right. Play a Ragavan. I have lost against Tron when they've mulled the 3, so it's not impossible for them to pull it out. I mean, they have 2 Tron lands and a map. That's Tron. Star. Okay. I'm definitely just going to hit them and then abrade the map. I'm not going to take any chances here and allow them to assemble Tron. A star. Yeah, I'm not going to take any chances and like allow them to just assemble Tron in front of me while I have the opportunity of stopping it. Maybe I should have hit the sphere because they probably just sack an Ancient Stirrings. No, they have nothing. They just say go. Interesting. Like maybe if I just like held up Remand, but I just didn't want them to like draw a land and like 3-1, even though that was like not really a win, but it was a win. I'll take it. I'll take it. Even money, and like let's crack the chest. Come on, something good, please. I have never seen this card in my entire life. I have seen this one. Alrighty, so we went 3-1 with the Chat GBT generated deck. What do we think? I kind of think all the same things that I was thinking when this deck was built. Serum Visions, Opts, Remand, they're all just not good. Burst Lightning actually, like, it kind of pulled its weight. It did something. It represented 4 damage multiple times. Flame Slash actually answered a Ledger Shredder, which was pretty impressive. I think that Unholy Heats would just be better. I'm pretty sure. And or Lava Darts, because we're playing like the Sprite Dragon. Delver has actually been impressing me. The more that I see this card, the more I'm like, wow. It's kind of like a Dragon's Rage channeler in a way. But it doesn't feel the grave, which kind of stinks. But it not having to attack kind of means something. But it just being a 1-mana flyer is awesome. Like, alongside a Dragon's Rage channeler, I could see Delver being pretty playable. Maybe. I played Delver back in the day, Grixis Delver in Modern. I mean, at the time, like, Jataxi and Probe was legal and stuff, so it was a very different time. But it was good during that time. There was no Dragon's Rage channeler. There was no Ragavan. It was, like, one of the best turn 1 tempo plays that we can make. Maybe there's something here to this. Remand, I don't know if this card is going to come back. I think it's possible because I did see a list of the Jeskai Breach deck, like the value deck, playing a copy because it does get around the Gigantha rule, right? So if we play Gigantha, which this deck, by the way, could have been playing Gigantha the entire time, I just realized, except for the Anger of the Gods on the board. So Remand might end up making a comeback in Modern. It's not bad with Underworld Breach, being able to like remand your own spell, or, you know, just being able to like have a counterspell effect. Not sure if it's like better than Mana Leak. I think that Mana Leak might be a little better, but it's arguable. They do 2 different things. This is closer to a hard counter than Mana Leak is. Sprite Dragon was sick. Awesome card. Manamorphose. I mean, with this, like, that's like pretty much what it's made for, right? Sideboard. Abrades were awesome. They were like MVP of the sideboard, probably. Surgical actually, like, although didn't end up holding its weight, I do think could make a comeback after kind of like watching this. There were times in which I wanted the Surgical, but it just wasn't good enough. But it could be good in the future. Ashiok, I don't know if this card is ever really going to see Modern play again. It's like a fringe Modern card. Close, but I don't think it will get there. Narset could. We never saw it, but it could. I was actually surprised at like how well Dispel works. It was kind of like a minor misstep in the way that it counters Lightning Bolt and Holy Heat. But yeah, I guess like it's just worse than a minor misstep. It doesn't hit Expressive Iteration. That's really big. It doesn't hit any of the creatures. It's pretty much only for other counter spells. That is like this is for the counterspell war. And if that's the case, Flusterstorm is just better, right? Arguably. they cast a spell, you Flusterstorm. It's essentially a Spell Pierce. So there are situations in which Dispel is better, but like not really. Anger the Gods never really worked out. Oops. I mean, I just think that it's just too old. I could see it being good against Hammer. I could see it being good against Yawgmoth, which is probably the best card. This is probably like the best board wipe for Yawgmoth, but like I would still rather Brotherhood's End. Does the same thing. The Flame Slat, you know, Mystical Speed's always been fine. Alpine Moon, I still just think, I think that it's fine in a very low land count deck, but Blood Moon is just an overall better card. It would have been better against the Indomitable Creativity. It's like only good against Tron and Urza Saga decks, and that's all I can really think of. And I don't really like bringing this in against Urza Saga, but in this deck, I feel like you probably have to. So that's it. That's the list. We went 3-1 with a ChatGPT generated deck list. That's kind of surprising with a bunch of these old cards. The last match was kind of a freebie, but you know, still, I'll take a positive record. That's really cool. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like. Please leave a comment. Subscribe. Let me know what you want me to play in the future. And as always, I love you. See ya.